Why should pharmacists handle health foods?
So the reason why pharmacists should handle health products and health foods is because we're probably one of the more accessible healthcare providers that the public has access to. People can walk in, they can ask questions, they're a lot more able to ask a pharmacist questions about things like that as opposed to other healthcare providers. They have to get an appointment, and it's also lots of times the point of sale too, is where patients will be asking questions about it and inquiring as they're shopping or they're looking at things. Pharmacists are in a really good position. They have the education and the training to be able to assist patients and help them pick out the proper products.
Frequency of the consultation and most asked questions.
So the number of times that patients will ask a pharmacist in a typical day and the typical questions they ask about natural products, it depends on really where you're working at. If you're working in a very retail setting with a lot of customers, you may get a question every 5 minutes or more, depending on how accessible you are, how the pharmacy is set up. When I was working in retail pharmacy at a chain pharmacy at the beginning of my career, I probably would answer 50 to 100 questions a day on natural products and health foods and things like that. Other settings, depending on how much you sell and don't sell at your particular pharmacy, you'll get more questions. But I'll have to say probably the most common questions are usually people responding to media questions, things that are in the news, or products that their friends or relatives have recommended and they'd like to know more about it.
What is the point, especially careful about the consultation?
So the most important point of consulting a patient about natural medicines is understanding the current patient's health concerns, their background medications they're currently taking, and also any health concerns that they have to ensure that the product that they're either choosing or inquiring about or you're going to recommend for them that it is safe and effective to use for that patient.
What are you using for the advice and why?
So what I really like about using the Natural Medicines database is that it's probably the most complete product that I've ever used as far as getting information on all the products and having evidence-based information available. A lot of the different things that you would use for natural medicines that are out there, you just get little bits and pieces, and it's hard to put it together. If you're really trying to get evidence-based information that you can evaluate with drug interactions, safety, efficacy, and then actually find the scientific studies that are available, the Natural Medicines database puts all that together. And so it is, I think it's equivalent to what some of the prescription drug databases are in the functions that they have. I've not come across any other product that has all of that in a natural medicines database. So right now, if I'm going to look anything up that's herbal, that is nutritional, that has anything that's not regulated by the FDA, if it is over the counter or not an RX product, it is by far, I think, the best thing to look at because it is all inclusive. It has all the information that I need. I can evaluate drug-drug interactions, drug-herb interactions, food interactions, nutritional depletion, everything like that. I can recommend supplements, and then I also can assess current therapy and medications to see if there's any interactions.
Could you give us some message to Japanese pharmacists? Mm-hmm. Because they don't recommend any health food or something like that.
Okay, so just for a little background, though, they don't recommend because they don't have information, they don't sell a lot of it, or just so I know the question real well.
I would say
mm-hmm.
both.
Okay, and that's so if I'll rephrase the question then, so my message to Japanese pharmacists on why they should use the Natural Medicines database?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Natural Medicines database I think is really important for all pharmacists and for Japanese pharmacists because by giving them access to the information you can be a much more informed health professional and you're able to assess your patient's needs much, much better.